Greetings, barbecue family. Welcome to another live episode of the Backyard SmokeMaster Barbecue Podcast. I'm your host, Kenyatta Robinson. Happy Friday. Thanksgiving is upon us, so I hope you all are doing well and that you've got your Thanksgiving barbecue cooking plans already lined up and in order, because the time is finally here. I'd always like to welcome everyone to come on in with your comments. Your comments are the engine that drives the show. It makes everything happen. And I do appreciate your participation, so please don't be shy. Join in. Come on in with the conversation, with the comments. And let's say good evening to Jeff. Welcome aboard, Jeff. Thank you for tuning in. Always appreciate your support. And likewise to Bruce, also known as Correctional Officer for Lockdown. Appreciate both of you for your consistent support. Of course, if you have any friends who are into barbecue, who love talking about barbecue or hearing about barbecue, please welcome them to tune in to the podcast. Of course, we'd love to have them with us. So again, kind of another evening with kind of like a loose agenda here. You know, nothing really firm. Just kind of playing everything by ear. Just a lot been going on at the end of the year here. But basically the theme for tonight, or at least my thought going into tonight, is basically, you know, it's Thanksgiving, so it's always a time of reflection, thinking about things that have happened over the past year, and, you know, giving thanks for the things that you are grateful for, appreciative of. I think it's it's a genuine type of holiday, an opportunity to spend time with your loved ones, hopefully, of course, around some good food that usually is accompanied with some good, hopefully some good football games on TV, but just a relaxed time with friends and family, I think, for Thanksgiving. So I definitely welcome you all to, you know, let us know in the comments, you know, what are the things that come to mind as far as going into this Thanksgiving season that you are thankful for. I know for myself, and having gone through, you know, just a lot of things, especially over the past month or so, losing my father. One of the things I have been especially thankful for is, you know, my family. I've heard from and been able to lean on family to help me get through a very difficult period, and it kind of brings into focus how much, you know, your loved ones mean to you. And also with my father not being here for the first time, this will be my first Thanksgiving without him, so that, you know, kind of crystallizes that love for family for me. And then also, you know, another thing that I'm thankful for is this platform. You know, this platform has allowed me to be able to reach out to you on a more frequent basis than just making like a video for YouTube every now and then, being able to come on almost weekly, just turning the camera on and just talking about barbecue. That's something that I'm also very grateful for. It's always timely for me at the end of another work week to be able to end the week on a Friday and enjoy being able to talk about barbecue, something that we all love, with you all. So I do appreciate that. Correctional officer says, great theme, game plan for tonight's podcast. Well, hopefully, we'll get some comments from some other folks about things that they are thankful for heading into this season. And then Bruce also says, Thanksgiving is always a time of reflection and realizing the importance of family, friends, and support. So yeah, that really kind of in a more concise way gets to the point that I was trying to make with regard to Thanksgiving. All right, so I, of course, have to ask now that the time is now, right? So Thanksgiving is less than 1 week away. So if you are cooking for Thanksgiving, you absolutely have to have your game plan in order, set and ready to go. So would love to know, and I know we've talked about this before, but now it's time, the real truth. What are you going to be doing for Thanksgiving? Are you going to be cooking on Thanksgiving Day, or are you going to try and do some cooking in advance, maybe the day before Thanksgiving? What is the game plan? For me personally, I will be cooking a couple of briskets. That has been the request that I received. So that's what I'll be doing. Instead of doing a turkey, I'm going to be doing 2 briskets. And I'm a little guilty. My briskets arrived today, actually. I ordered them from a company called 44 Farms. I got an email from them a little more than a week ago, and it really caught my eye because they were promoting that they were selling trimmed briskets. And, I'm like, okay, that sounds wonderful. I've ordered from them in the past, so I know them to be, reputable. And being able to take away some of that prep work will make my job in life a lot easier. So I went ahead and ordered a couple of these pre-trimmed briskets, and they arrived today. So I'm going to start. I've already got them in the fridge because they arrived frozen, of course, and starting to get them thawed out. And I am trying to decide exactly when I'm going to put them on. I'm definitely not going to be doing these briskets on Thanksgiving Day because there's no way I'd be able to have them ready on time. It has started raining here, and the local folks, the local weather folks here, meteorologists in the San Francisco Bay Area, they keep using this phrase that I had never heard of growing up, but they've started using it over the last couple of years, and they keep describing this rainy season that is upon us as an atmospheric river. And I wish my daughter Erin was moderating, because she'd be quick to look up exactly what this atmospheric river means. It always sounds so ominous, and I have heard some reports of maybe some flooding in some areas, but not what I would consider to be like serious flooding. But I guess any type of flooding is serious, but nothing that I think of as being catastrophic. But it always kind of gives me pause, when they start using those types of phrases, this atmospheric river. And it has been raining a lot today. So anyway, I say all of that to say that I'm kind of looking for a break in the action, and trying to figure out what will be the best day to get my briskets on. I'm thinking that I will probably not wait any longer than Tuesday to smoke these briskets. I'm thinking Tuesday is probably the date, but if the weather looks really bad and maybe if there's a break in the action, then maybe I'll get them going on Sunday. So that's kind of my personal situation. But let me know in the comments, what are you guys doing? Are you doing Thanksgiving? Are you doing turkey for Thanksgiving? Are you doing anything else? When do you plan to cook? So correctional officer says, I plan to smoke 2 turkeys and 2 to 4 Cornish hens early Thanksgiving morning. Okay, that sounds like a good game plan, and I definitely think you can accomplish that. The turkeys. Um, it's been a little while since I've done a turkey, but it's probably going to take you, at least 2 hours to do those turkeys, maybe a little bit longer. But my question for you, Bruce, is for these turkeys, are you going to spatchcock them? Which is the process of taking the breastplate out and setting it up so that your turkey is pretty much flat and level, and that will help it cook evenly. Or are you going to just do the whole bird? So let us know in the comments. Are you going to spatchcock these turkeys? Um, and then let's see. Jeff says, all right, Jeff is going to be frying a turkey on Thanksgiving for dinner with friends, and over the weekend doing another turkey and trimmings because it's my favorite meal to cook all year. So for Jeff, this is kind of like his Super Bowl right here. This is his favorite meal to cook for the year. So that sounds good. I love the idea that you're going to be doing a turkey on Thanksgiving, as well as another one at another time. So you're going to be definitely doing your turkeys. And then, as I talked about here in the Bay Area, weather has now become a factor. Is weather a factor for you all? Are you having to take into consideration any weather concerns? Like, I assume it's probably gotten cold just about everywhere. So the weather probably outside is a lot cooler. And then are you dealing with rain? Are you dealing with heavy winds? I saw on Thursday Night Football, that game, I think it was in Cleveland with the Steelers and the Browns, it was snowing. So are any of you going to be looking at snow for Thanksgiving for your cook? Correctional officer says, Jeff, that fried turkey is going to be great. Be careful. And Jeff and I, during the last Backyard SmokeMaster Society member, which is the membership community that I have, we talked about frying turkeys, and Jeff did show me a pretty interesting fryer that he uses. He's even able, believe it or not, despite what we all hear about fried turkeys, and they all say you should do that outside because we all have that vision of you putting the turkey into the fryer, and then we see those wild, crazy videos of like explosions of flames and whatnot. But Jeff has a fryer that he can even do this inside of his house. And Jeff, let me know in the comments, because I might have to pull that up for us to take a look at. But it looked pretty good, and I know Jeff has done this a few times, and he's got this process down. So I think it's pretty. It didn't look nearly as intimidating as some of the other ones, the other fryers that you typically see. So I would like to explore that a little bit more. And Jeff says, yeah, he'll definitely be careful. Yeah, the fryer he has is amazingly easy and safe. Bruce says, oh, this is a good point. He's going to brine the turkeys on Wednesday and then smoke them while having them stuffed. Okay, now these are a couple of interesting points as well. So I definitely recommend that you do brine your turkeys in advance. Of course, there's a couple of ways to do it. You can do the wet brine, and then you can also do like a dry brine, which will mostly consist of salt, I believe. So, Bruce, are you going to be doing a wet brine, or is this a dry brine? And then, so here's an interesting point. He's saying he's going to smoke them while having them stuffed. Now, this is something I haven't tried, and I've heard different recommendations, or there are different schools of thought about whether or not you should do a turkey or really anything while having it stuffed with something else. I think some might argue that the stuffing inside of the turkey may impede the cook and may make it difficult to ensure that you're getting, a thorough internal cook. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that you don't want two things. You don't want your turkey internally to be undercooked in certain portions. You absolutely want to make sure you're cooking to food safe temperatures, which would be at least 165. And then also with turkeys, you don't want to go too much further over 165, because then you run the risk of your turkey drying out. But then also the concern about the cross contamination of stuffing it, and then basically you're putting your stuffing inside of the turkey while it's still raw. So then could be concerns about cross contamination. So I don't want to say that that's not the way to go, but I do want to know what your thoughts are about those potential issues. Have you done it before? What are your thoughts about those concerns that I raise? So just some food for thought. I guess pun is intended there. Jeff says, I've got more recipes to try than time to try them. That's always one of the joys of barbecue is, there are so many ways to do similar things. Lots of different recipes, different cookers, different smokers to use, different, in this case, fryers. In Jeff's case, we have lots of options. So definitely can appreciate that. Okay, and then Bruce mentions, correctional officer for lockdown, is that also in the Backyard SmokeMaster Society, I finally made due on a promise that I made to put a Creole smoked turkey breast recipe into the Backyard SmokeMaster Society. So that's another benefit, and let me take a moment to talk about that. So actually, we do have a Black Friday sale is happening right now. If you want to or have thought about joining the Backyard SmokeMaster Society membership community, now is a great time to come on in. We're having a Black Friday sale. And then here, let me put this up. So if you go to backyardsmokemaster.com/community, that will take you to the page where you can sign up, and you'll see all the information about our Backyard SmokeMaster Society membership community. We have virtual meetups where we show off what we're cooking on the grill. Everyone has an opportunity, if they'd like, to turn on their cameras, and we can interact in real time. So it's not like how this podcast is, where you only see and hear me. During these virtual meetups, we can hear and see each other. So that's a big benefit. We have barbecue challenges. There are monthly master classes, and best of all, we're able to support each other in a private online group that is like Facebook, but it's not on Facebook. So we don't have all the distractions of all the other things that are going on, like in a Facebook situation. It's strictly about barbecue. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, now is a great time to give us a look. And so just go to backyardsmokemaster.com/community, and you can see the Black Friday sales that we currently have going on. So yeah, I put that recipe up, the Creole turkey breast up in the society. All right, speaking of the weather, so Jeff mentions he is expecting some light snow for Thanksgiving, and I know Jeff is in Pennsylvania, so he's on the East Coast. Getting back to that stuffing issue, okay, now Jeff says, I think you'll be okay if you monitor the temperature of the stuffing too. So if you get that to 160 in the cavity, I think you'll be okay. Okay, so that's a great point. Very important. Of course, this is something I always recommend to folks is make sure you are monitoring the internal temperatures of the things that you are cooking. That, you absolutely don't want to be guessing about that. And if you have a good instant read thermometer, or maybe one of these new wireless thermometers that are on the scene, that will make that task a lot easier. Okay, and then Bruce says, okay, I'm definitely going to have my wife's father join the society. Well, thank you. So yeah, now would be a great time for any friends, family that you think would enjoy the Backyard SmokeMaster Society. Now would be a great time to have them come on in while we're having the promotion that we've got going on, and I'll put that up on the screen. Again, go to backyardsmokemaster.com/community. All right. Now, is anybody doing anything kind of non-conventional, for Thanksgiving, like me? Like I'm doing the briskets. I know Bruce also mentioned that he's going to be doing a couple of Cornish hens. And then, or maybe a better question is, what are the additional things that you are doing? Are you doing mac and cheese? And if you are you going to put that on the smoker? I think that's a great way to do mac and cheese. Anything, remember, a smoker, a grill, they're just like an oven, it's just like an oven, especially in the case of a smoker. The added benefit that I think you have is that you can add smoke flavor. So it's kind of like having an oven outside, but you're infusing your food with smoke flavor. And then, of course, there's just so many other things. And then when it comes to the smoke flavor, different wood types. And then speaking of wood, so I have lots of questions as we talk about this. You're doing your turkeys, so your smoked turkeys. What type of wood are you guys going to use for your turkeys? Are you going to do fruit woods like apple, cherry? Are you going to do something stronger, maybe like hickory or pecan? Would love to know that as well. What are you going to use for your smoke flavor? All right, and now let's say hello. This is Crystal. So Crystal is actually someone who helps me. She's on my team, and she helps me with my podcast. So she's very much behind the scenes, but a lot of the visual graphics, the thumbnails and things like that you see, Crystal is doing those things for me. And Crystal is over in, I know most of the time you're in Dubai. So I think Crystal is joining us from Dubai. So thank you, Crystal. I appreciate you tuning in. And of course, I appreciate, and you're also someone I have to add to my list of things that I am thankful and appreciative of over the past year. Crystal has been helping me for a little bit more than a year. And we work extremely well together, and I'm thankful and appreciative for that. So thank you, Crystal. All right. And correctional officer for lockdown says, I'm going to use pecan, apple, and cherry wood chunks. All right. So he's got a good, nice combo going. I love this trio. The trio, because pecan, that's going to give you a little bit of a, more of a strong smoke flavor, but it's not going to overpower the turkey or the Cornish hens that you're using. And then you're adding that with apple and cherry. I always like cherry, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I always feel like cherry smoke kind of adds like a unique color to your poultry. And maybe I'm just imagining this because, when you think of cherries, you think of red. And I always think that the cherry smoke kind of gives your food, more of a kind of a reddish color. I don't know if that's true or is that fact or fiction or if I'm just making that up. But that's always what's in my head. And then Jeff says, good thought. He's going to go for cherry for this cook. Yeah, like the fruit woods are always good and safe. And that's what I would recommend definitely going with cherry or apple. And then if you did want to go for something stronger, you could do hickory. You could do, like we just talked about, pecan. Like if you do hickory, just try not to go too crazy with it. Just don't use too much. Don't overpower it. Because poultry like turkey, Cornish hens, chicken, they don't require a whole lot for the smoke flavor to penetrate. And Crystal does confirm it's morning time over in Dubai. So again, thank you. And then Crystal. Okay, now Thanksgiving it's really like an American holiday. But I'm curious because I know that you're familiar with Thanksgiving. I'm just curious, do other places like Dubai or the Philippines, maybe they don't necessarily do Thanksgiving at the same time that we do here in the United States, but is there something similar that's celebrated in places like that? Is there something, very similar to Thanksgiving that happens? I'm just kind of curious about that. All right. Okay, guys. So again, appreciate you all. Let me also just, while I'm thinking about it, if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and share the podcast. Of course, we're trying to grow our community right here on the Backyard SmokeMaster Barbecue podcast. So again, if you do have friends and folks who are interested in leveling up their barbecue, we definitely invite them to come on board and, tune in and, you're free. Even though we're really talking about Thanksgiving and what you guys are cooking and the methods that you're using to prepare on Thanksgiving, we're also open to talking about anything related to barbecue. So it doesn't have to be strictly about Thanksgiving. We can talk about anything else that strikes your fancy around barbecue. If you have a burning question that you've been wanting to ask, and I will try to answer it. And if I'm unable to, usually the folks here in the community are able to answer or at least offer some thoughts to help point you in the right direction. So I definitely appreciate that. All right. Okay, well, so I don't know if you guys have any more thoughts about Thanksgiving or anything else burning with regard to barbecue that might be on your mind. Again, I do appreciate you all for tuning in, especially guys like Bruce as well. Oops. I should lock that down. Bruce and Jeff, appreciate you guys for always tuning in. Definitely, again, you guys are the engine that really drives the show. And let's get to another comment. Okay, so Bruce says, wishing you and your family a great holiday in advance. The torch has been handed down and your father will be smiling from above. What was your fondest memories as a kid during holidays? So I guess, and this was kind of a recurring theme. My fondest memories, and kind of something that I've tried to embody, but in a different way, is around the holidays. Even though I was an only child, I am an only child, our house was like the central gathering point for the holidays, whether it was Christmas or Thanksgiving or the 4th of July, Labor Day. That was something that my parents always welcomed, everyone in the family with open arms. And that's what I remember about all the holidays, was that there would always be a lot of people coming to the house and just enjoying each other's company, especially for the summer holidays. My dad would be out there barbecuing. Of course, as I got into barbecue myself, I realized that, he wasn't really necessarily doing some of the best practices for barbecue, but it wasn't about that. It was just about the love of family and bringing people together. And that's really, what I'm trying to embody here on the podcast and with the Backyard SmokeMaster Society, is having like an online location that brings people together virtually from all different parts. So that's why I really do appreciate you all, because we're all in different places, near and far, especially far. I'm looking at Crystal there in Dubai. So that's just an embodiment of what I'm trying to accomplish here. So Crystal says, here in Dubai, the National Day is coming near this December 2nd. It is a massive celebration too. Okay, so coming up very near something that is very much akin to what we do for Thanksgiving. And then Bruce says, I am most thankful for the society. 2025 is going to be a great year for the society. We are going to obtain some sponsorship. Well, yeah, I welcome sponsorships. Don't get me wrong. But that's really, it's kind of like a secondary, like if it happens, that would be wonderful. But if it doesn't happen, I just want, whatever happens organically, I welcome and I'm okay with, but it's not, when it comes to like my reasons for doing the society or doing the podcast, and maybe it's a flaw for myself. But the sponsorship and all of that is not at the top of the list. Because trust me, I'm not raking in anywhere close to big bucks doing this. This is more of a passion. It's a passion hobby and just something that I enjoy. So we'll see. Maybe we will get that sponsorship. That would be great. But I do want the platform to remain, like, even if it's sponsored, I take pride in trying to be, honest and forthcoming, with you all and sharing my experiences, good and bad, with different barbecue products, and then just the experiences. So that's really, really more what it's all about. Okay, you guys. Well, I do appreciate you all for coming in, taking some time here. As I know, everything is going to get super busy as we get closer to Thanksgiving. So I definitely do appreciate that. Now, Bruce, let me, before I sign off here, Bruce says, I wish I could visit Dubai. I was stationed in the UAE during the first Gulf War and had a chance to visit outside the confines when granted a pass. It was all desert back then. And yeah, and I know that I've heard, like, especially Dubai is very, uh, much the opposite, I think, of all desert, very advanced is my understanding. And it would be a place I would love to go to as well. Backyard SmokeMaster channel is officially international. Yeah, we do have folks that do tune in from all over the place. I think the last time I checked, definitely have pretty decent viewership from Canada, as well as the United Kingdom as well. So we do get, we get around. We get a little bit of international attention, which is great. Well, all right, guys. So again, take advantage of the Black Friday promotion that we have going on. Tell your friends this is a great time to come on in and join the society. And then also just be a regular. Don't be a stranger. Tune in every Friday. We're here most Fridays. I don't want to make it sound like, there are, that we're here without fail on Fridays, but on most Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. So tell them, to come on in. We're here most of the time on Friday evenings to chop it up about barbecue. So this is Kenyatta Robinson. Thanks for tuning in to the Backyard SmokeMaster Barbecue Podcast. As I always say, get out there and enjoy your barbecue grills and smokers. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Again, be grateful and appreciative, and especially, show your love to your friends and your loved ones. Take care, be safe, and I will see you soon.